And we are live once again from Orlando, Florida, RoofCon 5, Orange County Convention Center. I got a wonderful guest, Jeff Richfield himself, in the flesh, the blood, brother. How are you doing?
Fabulous, man. Thanks for having me on today. It's always a pleasure to be here. Can you believe it's been 5 years?
What's that?
It's almost been 5 years, right?
5 years.
Amazing.
It is amazing that this is the 5th one. They're already talking about the 6th one for 2024 already.
Yeah.
And the last time I saw you, I think, was RoofCon last year.
That's correct.
You were on the podcast back then. And I think you just launched a book, didn't you, back then?
Yeah. So I'm down in Music City. You know, in Music City, everybody comes to write their hit and make it big time.
Yeah.
They come and they find really broken dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So we find those people, make them salesmen, and we just lift them up and make them be.
I always feel lifted up when I'm around you. So that must not be hard for you to do. I'm going to try these real quick.
Yeah.
Can I? Oh, I can hear you now. Thank you.
Leave them off or on?
If you can hear me, then you can leave them off.
I can hear you fine.
Okay,
man.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, so from Music City, Music City's got a great atmosphere there. You know, it's up and coming. There's cranes in the sky. Building is soaring. Music City Roofers is my company, and I sold that in March. Beazle Roofing came in, and they were the right fit.
Okay.
You know, they have 12 offices nationwide.
I did not know that.
And they garnered us well. They kept the brand.
Mm-hmm.
So my son is the general manager now. It's very awkward becoming an employee when you were an owner before.
Man, I can't even imagine how that would go down.
I was still trying to make the shots.
Yeah.
Hey, let's spend marketing dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hire some more people. And they're like calling me, Jeff, you don't do that stuff anymore.
Oh.
You just you're in charge of the big stuff, the multifamily, the commercial, sales. So, I learned my new seat.
Yeah. So with that role, what did that mean? What were you in charge of? Continuing those relationships with those relationships that you developed, or were you still managing, or were you selling?
So I was partly selling high dollar ticket items before, but now I'm not having to do all the other items that keep me distracted, so I can focus.
Yeah.
And so my focus is to continue to raise the culture, give my weekly speech on Fridays to keep the guys uplifted.
That's what I was curious about.
Shine on those who need to be shined on, and pluck the ones that are bad fruit.
Yeah.
But just raising that company level, we just now succeeded to 20 million. It's fabulous, right? So when we sold, I think we were at 12 last year. Mm-hmm. So we've almost doubled our volume. And it's so good to have Feasel undergird us that way.
Yeah.
So they came in with the backing, and they have 12 offices, like I said, and we'll be going solar next year too. Mm-hmm. So we're growing leaps and bounds. Yeah. I'm still there as a father of the industry, Well,
what did they do to come in to boost your revenue to those heights? Because that's like you said, that's almost double. That's double. So that's huge. And that there
was no storm. Without a storm too.
So how did they make that happen? Can you walk us down that path a little bit?
It was a combination. Good people, good leadership, having strategies, and being able to scale that way. Mm-hmm. So we would then push what we were doing.
I was going to say, and I'm sure your influence had to play that, because you still needed a figurehead there.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So challenging our guys to just step up, hiring some top quality talent. Okay. Right. Yeah. And getting rid of some of the ones that were bad apples, honestly.
Yeah.
So we have, I think, 14 people now to achieve that. Some of our guys are selling $200,000 to $300,000 a month, and it's not all about the numbers, but we really are doing good work for good people. Yeah. And that's what my book's about. You brought it up. So, Eyes Wide Open is about the idea that the new bottom line is being character driven. And the ex-CEO for National Roofing Contractors is Reed Ribble. And he wrote a quote on the back, which I love to share, which is, discovering character individually will change our industry corporately. That's been the issue. The character of our industry, notching it up. And that gives a different perspective to customers. So if we can create a new legacy, it'll be by changing the respect for our community. That starts with us. So that's what the book's about. It's a 40-day journey of character, because character is a new bottom line. Yeah. That's the way I'm concerned. Yeah. So I've learned that. I'm 60 years old this year. Sold the company, 60 years old. My 33rd anniversary was this last month. And so good things are happening.
Dude, that's crazy. Okay, so a couple of things there. One, first and foremost, you do not look 60 years old. Okay. I hope I look half as great as you do.
Thanks.
When I get there. Okay. The other thing is, it's so crazy about your book, because I just did a breakout a little bit ago, and the one thing that we talked about. Plus, I did a podcast this morning. That's where my journey began this morning, was talking about like wealth and success. Right. And a lot of people, they measure wealth and success by their pocketbook or their bank account, right? Where the real flex is the impact that you have on individuals.
Yeah.
Right. Like, how many people have you impact? That's where the success comes from.
Right.
That's where the health comes from.
Yes.
The wealth. You know what I mean?
That's good.
How well are you taking care of your family? How well are you taking care of those around you's families?
Yes.
That's success.
Yeah, Ty, I want to talk on that. That's fabulous, because on the other side of selling a company, how do you then garner your legacy and provide an inheritance for your children's children? So what I tell people is God will give you a provision for your vision, and you can make an impact with influence. So money is there to do that. And so it's not to seek and money chase the money, it's to chase our King, our God, and then he produces it. He says, if you seek me and righteousness first, all the other things will be added to you. So I teach my guys about kingdom principles in the marketplace. So the wealth journey after I sold is I teach people how to handle money, how to steward it well, and how to give hilariously. When we learn how to give, you can't outgive God, right? And so he's watching every step we
Maybe
make.
we should try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How you shoot for the moon. You know what I mean? Have that big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yes.
Maybe if we would try to outdo God, and in our journey on our way to outdoing God, we can do good along the way. Maybe. I don't know. I just thought, I don't know why I thought that.
Because I learned that through my walk is the things that I strive for more are harder to do.
Yeah.
But when I let God do the things, it's not hard. Like he sets up relationships, right? He taught us as Christ walked the earth how to do relationship well. How to love him first and then love each other like they want to be loved, not like we expect them to be loved.
No doubt.
So I do, as Roofers United, what I do is I take and coach people on the wealth concepts of kingdom living, creating a legacy with their inheritance so that they can leave something for their children's children, how to protect their assets. So it's not something taught in schools.
So you're teaching, let's talk about that. What exactly are you teaching?
Sure. So kingdom wealth, like I said,
that?
is about having, God doesn't say that we'll be able to get a lot of money, but he says we have the power to make wealth. Well, what does that mean? Well, if we have his spirit in us, that we have the power to create wealth. And how do we do that? We do that by honoring, stewarding, and respecting. And so the 40 principles in the book cover each one is a day of character. And so it's a 40-day reboot to live your legacy. And basically, the idea is get your eyes are wide open by the time you're done with the journey. Okay. I'm not going to give all the secrets away. You wouldn't get into the book.
Yeah, exactly.
But we need to be declaring who we are, because we are in a war. Obviously, it's not just the military war; it's a spiritual war. So we have to put arm ourselves with the weapons of warfare, which is Ephesians 6, our armor, and we have to put that on, because not everybody's going to come out of this war unscathed. There's going to be some losses and casualties.
Of course.
So I tell people that the war is within our business too.
Yeah.
It's not just the one in Israel or one on soil.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of people that are battling a war, within the 6 inches between their ears, and that's usually
right.
For me is where that battle begins. Right. I call it the committee. The committee's up there telling me that, I'm no good. I'm not worth it. I don't deserve these things. At least for me, low self-esteem, confidence, things of that nature. Right. And I've dropped to my knees and I've asked, please, remove these things, or I've surrounded myself around like-minded people to help lift and raise me up. So speaking of, on that note there, a good segue into so I heard you say earlier, I'm teaching people. Do you have a mastermind? Do you have an 800 number? If someone's in a crisis and they're going through a war, what do you offer?
Yeah, Roofers United. We have a Thursday coaching call,
Okay.
and it's about investments and wealth. We talk about money on Thursdays.
Okay.
We have a prayer call on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Nationwide prayer call. We're talking about lifting up the owners and salespeople who need some spiritual mentoring.
Yeah.
So because a lot of these guys didn't have fathers and mothers teach them well. So I'm 60 this year, and I think I've gone through enough experience in life that I can start being a light and help these kids, the 20, 30 something, the 40 somethings, to step up. Right.
Yeah.
Like my daughter, Jessica, she's got Ignite results.
Yes.
Jessica I'm real proud of her. She's a piece of,
she's not out here anymore.
Part of my family. She's in a booth right now.
Oh, okay.
But Ignite Results is training and building and igniting the results by teaching people how to hire and do things right.
That's so good. I've listened to her speak,
Yeah.
2, maybe even
Thanks.
4 times
Yeah,
already, and I get something from it every time.
I'm a raving fan. So
No doubt.
igniteresults.net. You got to check out Jessica, our daughter. And,
Yeah.
Man, it's always good to be on your show and be part of the team and grow it.
Yes.
So Roofers United, like I said, we have Zoom on Saturday morning, prayer call, because I believe we're at war and we have to be spiritual warriors, not just weekend warriors.
No, that's right. We got
It's
to
a daily
be prepared. And usually that starts with your daily routine.
There you go.
So like, what are you doing first thing in the morning before you have to go out into the world?
There you go.
To get your mind right, get your, whatever you have to do. Because I know there's certain things that I have to do in the morning before I can go out into the world.
Yeah.
Right. And if that's dropping to my knees, reading I have 2 books that I read from in the morning, my daily affirmations, I read them. It's quiet in the house. Jana gets up and she's doing her thing. She has her own little morning ritual. I have my own morning ritual. And what I'm doing is I'm putting on that armor that you speak of.
It's good.
Right. I stopped looking at my phone in the morning. I don't scroll Facebook. I don't look at emails. I don't look at text messages until I get to the office, because I'm not ready to pollute my mind yet.
Right.
And I don't want that way. That's not how I want to start my day out.
No. I tell my kids, my employees, my kids, but they are my kids. They're children, sons of mine. I tell them, if you pick your phone up before 7 a.m., you lost the battle already.
Yeah, no doubt.
So you have to have your morning set.
Right.
Mine starts at 4:30 in
You're
the morning.
stacking those wins first thing in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And if you have an attitude of gratitude, the moment that you can put your feet on the floor, win number 1.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You suck that first breath of air.
Right.
Win number 2. Or whichever order that might come in, right? So you're stacking wins right out the gate.
Right.
You know what I mean? If your mindset is right.
Totally.
Like, thank you for allowing me to raise my head one more day.
Sure.
Victory number 1.
It's good.
Right? Read your daily affirmations. Stay off your phone. Drop to your knees. Humble yourself.
That's it.
Right.
Got to get centered in the morning.
Yeah.
And I tell my guys, like, these guys are making between $2,000 and $5,000 a week. They got to know what to do with their income, buying houses, real estate.
Right.
So the things I experienced, I can help teach them. Right. So that's what we're doing. It's called Wealth with God. And basically, if we seek Him first, all the other things will happen.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
I love that, Jeff.
Yeah. Not chasing the money. We're chasing our
right. Yes. Absolutely. Man. I 100% agree. I always, like you said, I enjoy our conversations. We shouldn't wait 12 months to speak to each other.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm the coach that's going to teach people how to use money and create wealth, and then how to give away more than you thought you could before.
There you go.
You can't outgive God, right?
I love that. That was good. How can we get a hold of you if we need to get a hold of you?
roofersunited.org. You can just email me at jeff@roofersunited.org. I'd love to hear from you. Love to get you a copy of the book. This is my giveaway card. So I send these out free all the time. You get it on Amazon, but I'm sure you'd rather have it free. And then, that's it. Just email me.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the show, man.
Sure.
Thank you for what you do for our industry. And it's because of pioneers like you that companies like ours will be around for a long time.
Yeah, man. I love what you're doing for the community and love seeing you guys on my Facebook and promoting this whole, process.
Yes.
It's been a joy.
Yes. No
So
doubt.
thank you.
Thank you, brother.
All
Thank you for coming on.
You got it. See you, man.